on a hiking trail in the foothills of Southern California in late October. The sky is the kind of blue that makes people move to California in the first place. You left the trailhead at 7 a.m. because you wanted to beat the heat, which actually you did. It is currently 94 degrees Fahrenheit at 9 a.m. You are about 2 miles in when you smell something like campfire. You stop, sniff and look around, but found nothing, so you keep walking because you are the kind of person who Googled "is this trail safe" once, got a 4-star rating and called it research. Then the wind shifts, and suddenly the smell is not a background detail anymore. You turn around and there it is, maybe half a mile behind you, or even less, a wall of orange and grey, the height of a 10-storey building, moving towards you at the speed of a highway car. And here is the thing about wildfires that nobody tells you. They do not walk, they run. And you, standing there on a dirt trail with a 32-ounce water bottle and a completely useless fitness tracker, are not fast enough. A wildfire is not a single fire. It is a self-feeding, atmospheric event that behaves more like a living organism than a flame on a candle. It needs 3 things to exist. First is fuel, which is everything around you on a California hiking trail in October. Second is oxygen, which is everywhere. And third is heat, which it generates itself. Remove one of those 3 things and the fire dies. The problem is that when you are standing inside one, removing any of them is not really an option for you. Here is how the fire front works. The burning edge of a large wildfire can reach temperatures between 1,100 and 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit at the flame itself. For reference, aluminum melts at 1,220 degrees. Even staying in your car would not protect you. It would become an oven, and then it would become part of the fuel. The heat radiating off the fire front can be lethal, even before the flames arrive, because thermal radiation travels at the speed of light, and fire does not need to touch you to kill you. At 300 feet from the fire front, radiant heat exposure is enough to cause second-degree burns to expose skin within seconds. At 150 feet, first-degree burns happen in under a second. Then there is the part that makes wildfires uniquely terrifying compared to almost any other natural disaster. They create their own weather. A large wildfire generates so much heat that it produces pyrocumulonimbus clouds, literal firestorms that build convection columns reaching 30,000 feet into the atmosphere. And the wind. The wind is what kills people who think they are safe. When a wildfire creates a pressure difference in the air around it, the surrounding atmosphere rushes in to fill the void. That inrushing air becomes the fuel delivery system for the fire, pushing it in directions and at speeds that no forecast model predicted and no evacuation order anticipated. People who were in the safe zone at 11 a.m. were in the burn zone at 11:15. That is not a metaphor. That is the campfire in Paradise, California, 2018, which killed 85 people, most of whom were in their cars trying to leave. All right. Back to you on the trail. You start running and the direction matters enormously. Going uphill is wrong, even though it feels faster. Fire moves uphill faster than downhill because heat rises and preheats the fuel above it. If you run toward a ridgeline with fire below you, you are running into the throat of the fire's fastest spread direction. The smoke reaches you before the fire does, and wildfire smoke is not wood smoke from a fireplace. It is a chemical cocktail of carbon monoxide, hydrogen cyanide, benzene, formaldehyde, and dozens of other compounds, depending on what is burning. Your lungs are the first internal organ to fail. Breathing air at 300 degrees Fahrenheit causes immediate burns to the trachea and bronchial tubes. Your airways start to narrow. You begin coughing, which pulls even more smoke in with every breath. Visibility drops to 0 within minutes. You cannot see the fire. You cannot see the trail. Your body is in full sympathetic nervous system activation. Your heart rate is 170, or maybe higher. You're faster and stronger than normal, and also significantly less capable of making good decisions. Carbon monoxide begins to compete with oxygen for space on your red blood cells, and carbon monoxide wins every time because it binds to hemoglobin 200 times more readily than oxygen does. You feel confused, strangely, and a little tired. Some people describe a feeling of unreality, like the situation stopped being an emergency and started being a dream. Here is the mercy, if you can call it that. By the time the fire is truly on you, the carbon monoxide and oxygen deprivation have likely already taken your full consciousness. The brain begins shutting down under hypoxia with a strange, dissociative calm. You do not go out screaming. You go out slipping. One moment you are there, and then the world gets very far away and very quiet. Radiant fire heat is not the directional heat of a summer sun. It is omnidirectional. It comes from in front of you, from the ground below you, reflected from every surface around you. Your skin registers pain at about 111 degrees Fahrenheit. The ambient temperature in the fire zone can exceed 600 degrees at ground level. Your body tries to sweat. Your sweat evaporates instantly. The cooling mechanism your species spent millions of years evolving becomes completely useless within seconds. Here is a quick reality check. In 2023 alone, wildfires burned more than 2.7 million acres across the United States. The Maui fire that same year killed 100 people, the deadliest American wildfire in over a century. Most of them had less than 2 minutes of warning. The official evacuation siren system was not activated because officials were worried it would cause confusion. 100 people died in part because someone was worried about mixed messaging. Fire seasons in the American West have gotten 78 days longer on average since the 1970s. The land is drier, the fuel load is higher, and the fires are bigger and faster than anything the infrastructure built to contain them was designed to handle. So, here is what you can actually do. First thing is to know your fire risk zone. Most counties in fire-prone states publish hazard severity maps online. Look up your address. If you are in a high-risk zone, have a go bag, know your 2 exit routes, and leave early when there is a warning, not when it becomes mandatory. Do not run uphill. If you are caught on foot, seek the lowest ground available, clear of vegetation, a dirt road, a gravel clearing, a rocky outcropping. The counterintuitive move is to find where the fire has already been. Firefighters call it the black. The charred ground behind the fire line has no fuel left. It is hot and ugly, but it is the one place the fire will not follow you. Get there if you can. Stay low, cover your airways with anything you have, and stay face down if the front passes overhead. Sign up for your county's emergency alert system. Most people have not done this. It takes 4 minutes, and it is the difference between a warning and no warning. Stay informed, leave early, and do not run uphill.